Hello and welcome to The Voice. My name is Joseph Salama. I'm an editor with The Voice, and I'm here today with Robert Higa, who's running as the candidate for the director of programming with Huskies United.
Yes.
Thank you for taking a few moments to come out and just talk to us about who you are.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Without much further ado, let's just launch right into it.
Okay.
First question we have for you is, what is your experience with programming both on and off campus?
So more specifically this year, my experience with programming is I first started with first year programs doing dog days for Fall Fling. We had Reliant K come out as our headliner, and then we had a community event that same week where we had Garfunkel and Oates come out, and they were a hilarious group of two girls that were very, very funny. And then we had the outdoor movie night, which was, we showed Kick-Ass, which was an awesome movie. We filled the whole entire quad, and that commenced with the outdoor carnival that was put on by RHSA. And after that, let's see, there's been an evening with Spike Lee, which is more educational programming. For the Everybody Fashion Show, I was the retail coordinator, so I was in charge of going out to all the retailers, picking and choosing who I wanted to be in the fashion show and convincing them that they should be a retailer in the show. And right now I'm working on advertisements for Post Secret and starting the advertisements for Spring Show, which is going to be an amazing show. It's going to be out in Rainier Vista. If you're not familiar with that is, it's the grassy space right below Drumheller Fountain, which we like to call the mini gorge. Just a little slope. Programming outside of A&E, with my fraternity, Delta Chi, my freshman year, I was the philanthropy chair, and so I helped host our philanthropy, but I also helped with the other philanthropies that we were involved with. Sorry.
No worries.
And for Mr. Greek, Mr. Greek has to raise money, so our Delta Chi Mr. Greek needed to raise lots of money, so I helped him out by hosting a auction in which we raised over $2,000 for. And so that was the big programming thing that I did my freshman year. And then elsewhere, I've been helping out with like Bark Against Budget Cuts, and I did the posters for the Rally to Restore Funding, and I did the postcards for that were sent to legislators to get as much student voice as possible for those who could not make it down to Olympia. Let's see, what else am I working on? Lots of just advertisements and posters for different RSOs and groups. Right now I'm working on a mixed poster for Mixed Week, and started doing a lot of design in high school, so now that's like what I do for all the different programs and events.
Nice, excellent. In a recent forum, you spoke to bringing Jon Stewart to campus with Office of Government Relations. However, given the cost of bringing a specific performer to campus, how do you plan to pay for that event? Okay,
so at the last forum, I stated that Jon Stewart, he was way too expensive for us to bring this year. So it was very disappointing because he's upwards around $200,000. But I still have been thinking about kind of ways around that. And so next year, possibilities working with programs outside of the UW campus, so working with possibly UW Tacoma, UW Bothell, and then even the other state schools that are involved in lobbying efforts down Olympia, because we're all fighting for the same budget cuts that are being proposed to all the different campuses. And so having a very, very large rally against budget cuts, inviting all the different campuses, possibly having this at Heck Ed, which is the largest and most appropriate venue space for this event. Let's see, what else would we have to do? Yeah, just having a Heck Ed, because next year I know that with the dog pack negotiations, that one thing that they're fighting for is to have Heck Ed as one of the possible venue spaces for multiple UW events. So that's just one of the opportunities that we could manifest and take over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good use of the word take over. So in our third question, currently this position chairs the Husky Pride Fund. What do you know about the Husky Pride Fund, and what plans do you have in moving forward to develop that fund?
So the Husky Pride Fund is a fund that is used for students who unexpectedly have, let's say, they unexpectedly can't afford to pay for school anymore. So it's like an emergency fund for a short period of time. So like, let's say that I lost my job and I couldn't pay for my tuition anymore, I would seek the Husky Pride Fund for possibly helping me out for that short period of time. And so right now in the process of the Husky Pride Fund, they reached the amount of money required to start distributing money, and so right now they're working on the process of developing a board of people to look over the different, or building the application first, because right now they don't even have an application process for this fund. And so where I see myself fitting in is continuing application process if it hasn't been done yet by the time that I start my term, and then from there starting the interviews, but at the same time making sure that there's sufficient amounts of funds coming in, so working with the advancement committee, and hopefully this is something that the advancement committee will be taking on as one of their main priorities, because as past directors of programming have expressed that though that they have been working on the Husker Pride Fund, it's very frustrating because they can't put as much time as they would want to into this, because it's a very important fund and very important concept that we maintain here at the UW.
Yeah, absolutely. So this next question is about how you would interact with other board members. How do you intend on working with fellow AACW board members on programming projects as a whole entire unit?
Okay, so I know like a lot of groups that are under board members put on programs, but they're not necessarily reporting to the director of programming. And so kind of just being a resource and letting the other BOD members know that they should be kind of directing any questions that their groups have to the director of programming, and if they need any help, that I can help out in like kind of seeing like where they are at in the process of their program and seeing if there's any like small tweaks that can happen that can make the program even better. Also just meeting and during the board meetings, just kind of just being aware of the different programs that are happening so that I can take the initiative and reach out to those groups that are putting on the programs. And also like letting groups know that, because programming isn't just events, it's also educational. So kind of letting groups know that don't currently put on programs that they have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. How can AACW promote greater collaboration and community in events hosted on campus?
Okay, so AACW should be pushing as much as possible to be, again, as like this resource. So I know that a lot of groups want to put on these events, but they don't have the budget for it. They don't know how to even approach this. And so just kind of, if AACW was a little bit more welcoming to like link groups so that, hey, you know, if you guys have this great idea, come to us, we can help you out. Like this year for Post Secret was interest of Active Minds, which is a psychology club here on campus, and they approached ACW looking for help to put on this program because they couldn't front the thousands of dollars that it costs to put on this program. So Arts and Entertainment, our office thought about this and saw this as an opportunity to do co-programming and collaborate with this group to put on this event that we saw that was going to be very successful. And in fact, in the first 2 weeks of ticket sales, with minimal advertisements, we sold already half the tickets. And right now we're going into this next week knowing that this is going to be a successful event.
Nice, excellent. That's all the time we have for questions. I just want to thank you on behalf of the writers and the editors for coming out and just spending a few minutes with us, despite it being a sunny Saturday afternoon.